What's up, YouTube? Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be going over the Texas versus Georgia game. You guys already know this is the biggest game of the year. Regular season, at least. This is the absolute biggest game of the regular season. You got number 1 Texas. You got number 4 Georgia. This game's going to be an absolute dogfight. I don't really know how to describe how excited I am for this game. You guys know, if you follow my channel, I am a Texas Longhorns fan. But I'm going to go non-biased here and just go by what the numbers say when I'm giving you guys some picks. I'm going to do some player props at the end of this video. But let's just talk about the game itself for a little bit. Let's break down the game. Let me know who you got winning this game in the comments down here. I want to see how split this game is going to be. How many people got Georgia? How many people got Texas? Really, the line is at -5 for Texas right now. I think that's a little bit too big of a spread. This is Georgia, guys. It's Georgia. Yes, they're not what they were 2 years ago. Last year they got snubbed from the playoff. I think they could have been a playoff team. I don't know. What do you guys think? Washington and Texas, that was a great game. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think Georgia could have been in over Alabama. It was hard, though. That 4-team format just sucked. I do think Texas deserved to be in it. That might be a little bit biased. One loss, but they beat Bama in Bama. This isn't last year, though. Let's talk about this year. Georgia, Texas. This is in Austin. So that's one reason why Texas is probably favored by 5 points. Usually when you're at home, you can kind of go by the general, I guess, consensus that you're going to get 3 points just for being at home. So really this is kind of like a 2-point spread if this was a neutral site. I think it's kind of going to be a pick'em game. Right now, the odds on the money line, you got Georgia +168, Texas -205. That's really not a bad bet on the Georgia side of it. +168 odds. I don't think that's going to hit, though. I'm not going to take that bet. Let's talk about the spread a little bit more. Opened up at Georgia +2.5 with -105 odds. Now it's sitting at Georgia +5 with -110 odds. We're looking at Texas -2.5 at 115 odds for the opening line. And right now sitting at -5 with 110 odds. So you got +5, -5 for Texas, Georgia, and it's at -110 odds on both sides. So not really an absolute favorite there as far as odds go, which side you should take. It's -110 on both sides of that spread there. So let's dive into the money line now. We're looking at, like I said, Georgia +168. 16% of the bets right now of public bets are taking Georgia. Only 16%. So I'll do the math. 84% of the public is choosing Texas money line. However, where the money falls is a little bit different. It's 60% of the money is on Texas for the money line, and then 40% for Georgia. So those 16% of Georgia bets, those are big wagers coming in on the money line for the Georgia side of things. And then looking at the spread where the bets are going there, this is real tight, guys. You got 55% of public bets on Georgia. 55% of public money is on Georgia as well to cover that spread. I gave out a VIP pick for this game to my VIP members a couple days ago. Obviously, I'm not going to just give that out on the channel because that's a VIP pick just for the people that are in my VIP plan. But I gave that out a couple days ago, and you guys can see this line has gone up and down crazy. I caught it at a good time, so hopefully we hit that pick on this one. Last weekend was unbelievable for us. We took Oregon money line, crushed that. We took LSU money line, crushed that. Parlayed them together actually, so 2+ odd money lines and beat them and won those picks. 99% of the money was on Ohio State. I think that was a no-brainer pick for me. Looking at how the line moved and looking at where the money was at throughout the week as it was going up and down and where the line was going up and down, I was watching that. And what I like to see happen on a pick before I make it is exactly what happened, and that's why I took Oregon on the money line. Same thing with LSU, following where the money is going, whether it's going for LSU or Ole Miss, and where the lines are moving. That one, I saw what it was doing and I liked it, so I struck on that one. It was big wins for us. So this one, hopefully the VIP pick that I gave out on this game cashes as well for us. So that'll be another huge win. But if you want the VIPs, you can see down here at the bottom of the screen, code SCRIPT. When you get into the VIPs, that's going to get you that 3 free days. I apologize. I lost my train of thought for a second. 3 free days of the VIPs. So you could try it out. Let me help you win money before you pay me anything. It's just, I feel like that's fair. Let me gain your trust with 3 free days, and then we get rolling together. You guys can join this army as we take it to the books. The over-under, the total here, 56.5 points. Opened up at 54.5 points. So that line has raised slightly. You're looking at the over is minus 111 odds. The under is minus 109 odds. So very, very similar on the odds there. You get 2 cents better if you take the under here at 56.5 points. Like I said, it opened up at 54.5 points. 56% of the public is taking the over right now. So 74% of the money is taking the over. So we got a little more of a public lean on the over here with 74%, as opposed to the spread and the money line. Those are real tight. Not quite 50-50, but tighter than the over-under is on this one. So that's your main lines, the spread, money line, your over-under. I'm not going to go over everything like first half money line and all that crazy jazz. I just wanted to talk about the lines for this game as we head into the biggest game in the regular season in college football this year. Now, a little bit of a breakdown about the game itself. You guys, if you're watching this channel, I'm already guessing that you're a big football fan or a big sports fan in general, but you might not be. There are a lot of people that don't watch the sport, but they bet on it because it's profitable, and they don't give a shit about the teams themselves. All they care about is the lines, the numbers, where the money is, where the money isn't. They just look at the data and make bets off the data. If you're one of those guys, let me just talk about the game a little bit. Quinn Ewers, quarterback for Texas. Early Heisman favorite, goes down with an injury. Channing comes in and actually does a really good job for Texas. On the other side, you got Carson Beck, also a early Heisman favorite. He's tailed down a little bit. We saw, I think, his true colors. I personally don't think he is a top NFL prospect. I don't think he's going to have a good career in the NFL. He is a really good college quarterback. That's just my personal thought watching his tape, being a football guy for my whole life, and my personal evaluation of him. Really good college quarterback. I don't see it translating. Even Quinn Ewers, I don't see that translating as well as some people do, and Quinn Ewers is my favorite college football player, so nothing against him. I just don't think his game right now as it stands translates to long-term success in the NFL. He only throws the one ball. He's got to figure out how to throw that 2 and 3 ball and fix that game. Fixes his throw choice a little bit. Anyways, Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, great quarterback matchup here at the college level. You got Texas with a stable of running backs, mostly Trey Wisner and Jaden Blue splitting carries. You do got Jarrett Gibson, the freshman, comes in, gets a little bit of carries here and there. But for the most part, it's a two-headed monster in that backfield. Then you've got a stable of receivers. It's an embarrassment of riches at the receiver position, really on both sides of this game, Texas and Georgia. But Texas did not miss a beat, losing their top 4 options to the NFL draft last year. So Texas's offense is dynamite. Texas's defense is where things are different this year. They have elevated their level of play tremendously. Last year, that was their weak point. Their secondary was not very good last year, as you saw in the Sugar Bowl, what Penix and those receivers did in Washington to this defense. But this year, they flipped things around. They are looking great. Georgia, on the other hand, their defense is not looking as good. That, I would say, is not necessarily a huge weak point, but compared to the Georgia that we've seen over the last 5-6 years, they're trending down on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense is still very dynamic. Trevor Etienne is getting the majority of the carries over there. Not as much of a split backfield in Georgia as it is in Texas, but Trevor Etienne is kind of dominating the work share, the carry share in that Georgia backfield. And then their receivers, you got Arian Smith, Dominic Lovett, Dylan Bell. All 3 of those dudes are electric. Would be starters on any team. It's not a one of those things where you're a starter on your team, but if you go somewhere better, you're probably not going to play. Those 3 guys are likely starting anywhere they go, with the exception of maybe Texas and Ohio State, because their receivers are just stacked. So I think these offenses are going to have a lot of fun. Let's just put it that way. A lot of fun throwing the football around. I do think Georgia, on that side of things, they're going to have to run the ball to have success in this game. Texas is more dynamic. They can throw the ball against this Georgia defense, and they run the ball against this Georgia defense. It's going to be very difficult to throw the ball against this Texas defense. Not necessarily just because their secondary got better, but their pass rush is relentless. They've got a freshman over there, Colin Simmons, that might be a top 10 pass rusher in the country as a freshman. And that is not a biased take. That's a take before he ever stepped on campus as a 5-star recruit. People projected him to be the next big name pass rusher, like Myles Garrett type of big name coming out of college, and he's only a freshman. So that's kind of my breakdown of the game itself. Let's do some player props real quick, and then I'll stop rambling a little bit here. First one, we got Quinn Ewers. So like I said, Quinn Ewers, 22.5 passing completions is his line. We're going to take the over on this. Looking at his games so far this year, right here, this CSU game, that's his first game this year. This is all last year. You can see a lot of the time last year he was going over this. They're throwing the ball a ton. Over here, he got hurt in this the UTSA game after the Michigan game. He threw 24 times against Michigan, threw 20 times against CSU, but he didn't play the whole game. He also didn't play the whole game against UTSA because he got hurt. And then last week against Oklahoma, he only threw 20 times. I get it. Looks like we should probably take the under. But like I said, this game is going to be tight. It's a 5-point spread right now. The Oklahoma game was a 14.5-point spread. Texas got up big early, and they held that lead. They didn't have to throw the ball a lot. I think this one's going to be tighter. They're going to be throwing to the end, and Quinn Ewers is going to be slinging the rock around. He may throw the ball 32 times instead of 22 times. I'm smashing the over on this one. I think this one is a can't miss, easy prop win for us. Moving on, Jaden Blue, his teammate. Scroll down here. We're looking at rushing yards. So right here, this is 47.5. That's his line, right, for consensus line across the books. We're actually getting it at 50.5 rushing yards. And I didn't mention it yet, but we're doing these on Sleeper. So real quick, before I continue, I forgot to mention these are on Sleeper. Use code WORLDWIDE when you sign up. You're going to get a $100 deposit match. And this slip, this whole entry right here, absolutely free because it's a $20 protected play. So you, or whatever, however much you want to play, up to $20. So basically, if you put 20 bucks on this play, this entire lineup I'm giving you, if it hits, great, you win. If it does not, you get your 20 bucks back. So it's a win-win, no loss at all. So get on Sleeper to play this play. You can play it on other DFS apps as well, but Sleeper's got that protected play, and you'll get a $100 deposit match. Up to $100 deposit match. Just make sure you use code WORLDWIDE when you sign up. So Jaden Blue's line on Sleeper is 50.5, not 47.5. And we're going to take the under on his rush yards. You see here, CSU game, he went for 57. The Louisiana Monroe game, he went for 124. These last two games, he hasn't hit it. And then the Michigan game, he didn't hit it. And the reason is he's not getting the ball that much anymore. He got 6 carries against Mississippi State, 10 carries against Oklahoma. This big game that he had, he got 25 carries. But now Trey Wisner is taking a lot of that workload. Trey Wisner is getting a ton of those carries. If you look down here, he got 45 rushing attempts so far this season. Blues got 61. Gibson's 48. That's a little skewed. Don't really look into that too much because those games that Texas had the easy opponents at the beginning of the year, Gibson was getting a ton of second half work share and with the lead. So they were running the ball a lot with him. Wisner, though, however, against Oklahoma and Mississippi State, these SEC games that actually matter, he's taking a lot of the carries away from Blue, and that's why Blue's carries are down, Blue's yards are down in those SEC games. So I'm going to take Jaden Blue under 50.5 rushing yards. I don't necessarily think that Texas is going to be a bad rushing team this game. I just think it's going to be so split. It's hard to take either or of these guys, Wisner or Blue, over their rushing total. Now we're going to go back, sticking with Texas. We're going to go with Isaiah Bond, and we're going to go with his touchdown. And he's going to go over half a touchdown. We're going to get him to score 1. He's the number 1 receiver. Like I said, this game's going to be tight. They're going to be slinging the rock around, and Quinn Ewers could throw for 4 touchdowns in this game. Let's be honest. Ewers is back. He was dialed at the end of that Oklahoma game. He started out very shaky. He found his groove, found his rhythm, started slinging it around. They ran the ball a lot towards the end because they had that big lead. Ewers didn't even throw a touchdown in that Oklahoma game, but he found his groove and was completing passes. They're going to throw the ball a lot because it's going to be a tighter game. Isaiah Bond being his #1 receiver, I'm taking him to score a touchdown because of those things. They're going to throw a lot, and he's the #1 option. He did get hurt, but everything I've been reading is he's back. He's good to go. It was just a minor leg injury. Should have had a touchdown last week, but in that first quarter, Quinn Ewers just threw it into the dirt for some reason. Isaiah Bond would have walked into the end zone. So take Bond to score a touchdown. And then, I don't mean to piss off Georgia fans, but this might piss off Georgia fans. We're going to take Carson Beck on his passing yards, and we're going to take the under at 270.5 passing yards. The reason I'm doing this is right here you can see Texas is ranked #2 in the country for passing yards allowed this season. Like I said, their secondary got a lot better, and their pass rush is crazy right now. They have to run the football if they have a chance to beat Texas. Georgia, that is. Georgia's going to be trying to run the ball a lot. 1, to keep Texas's offense off the field, and 2, to keep that pass rush from just pinning their ears back and coming to get Carson Beck. Expect them to run the ball a lot. Beck threw for almost 500 yards last week. I get that. It was Mississippi State. He threw for almost 500 against Bama. He was also down 30-0, or 30-3, I believe. I don't remember the exact score. He was down big against Alabama early, so all Georgia did was throw the ball in that second half. Don't expect that to happen again this game against Texas, and they have the #2 ranked passing defense for pass yards allowed specifically. Carson Beck under 271.5 yards. That's on Sleeper. The consensus is 270. We're getting it at 271 on Sleeper. So there's your props, guys. That's the video all I got for you guys. I just wanted to break down this game, huge implications as far as my standpoint. Hook 'em horns. What do you guys think? Georgia, Texas, who you got? Let me know. Let me know if you like these picks. If you want to tail these picks, hit tail down here. I appreciate it. Helps my algorithm, helps boost my video. I'm trying to grow this channel so I can reach more people and help more people. That's why I do this, is to help you guys, do it for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.